Yep, we can hear you. Well, it's almost 11:01 or equivalent. Should we get started, or do we want to allow a little bit more late arrival time? Wow,
I think we
lively
could
group.
wait another 2 minutes maybe.
Okay. Ah, Brad's here too. That's good.
Jim, did you find what you were looking for? The agenda, chat logs, materials, but nothing else. I don't think we have any other slides at this point.
I think that's it. It was.
Or is that
Yeah,
last time?
I'm looking at the repository right now, but yeah, I think the problem I had last time was finding the link to the minutes and so forth.
Okay.
But, found that this time.
I reposted that. 20 minutes before. I hope that was useful.
The only place that I found the link to the Meet Echo was in the on Data Tracker was in the calendar invite. It must be somewhere
so if you
else.
go under meetings, under meeting materials for today, then you'll
Yeah.
find the links. All the links are there. I wish it was under the agenda.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's the same thing. And we're at 11:05 or
Yeah, let's
2:05
start.
for East Coasters. Let's go. So who's talking, Michael? You or me?
I don't know.
I can do it. I'll run it. Yeah, so I
There
guess
you
you guys
go.
get to the note well, right? I'll let you
Yeah,
do that
so
first.
I'll just put up the note well for the purposes of the recording. That is not the note well. But, you know, if you have any IPR, you need to tell us about it. And if you have any questions, please ask the chairs or your area directors, and we'll straighten you out. And aside from that, please be nice to each other. Speak slowly and address the issues rather than the people. Okay, so I think we just need to jump into the issues that are open.
Yeah, issues open are that there are no issues open. There's
What
one
about this
pull
pull request?
which
Yeah.
changes a grammatical error, and I simply, I think it's fine. I just didn't know if it was worth a whole new version.
Mm.
to just
Just
change a
pull it
single
in.
word, or
Just pull it in, and next time we'll get discuss comments from at some point, and it will just show up as. I can do that even here.
Yeah,
You want me to do that right here?
Just we can just merge it. My point was, if there was no other changes to make, then is it worth a whole nother draft before we send it to the next folks or do last call?
Okay. But, do we get all of the things about our SHA 1 issues? I think is everyone happy with the results were there? I am.
I think so. I honestly need to go through the whole thing again, but I think we're probably, I can probably do that overlap with the working group last call. And so maybe that's what we should do next, is kick off a working group last call, and then I would suggest maybe we incorporate whatever changes result from that, including this seconds thing. Push out another version, and do IETF last call with that.
Yeah, so the ISG will do the IETF last call once our AD blesses it. So we don't have to worry about that. So right. Should we push the buttons for the last call at this point? What is, how do we, is 2 weeks enough? Should we go to the end of
I think we said 1 month is what we wanted to do.
Yeah, okay.
In the last interim. But yeah, I agree. I think based on what we have, we just use draft 3 as the last call version. Sure, there's a double seconds in there, but we know it's there. Otherwise, I've got 0 feedback on my other forms.
Okay.
So it's kind of is. I think we're in that state.
So which one of us, Jim, you or I, are going to do the Shepherd write-up?
Or anybody else. I mean, it does not.
Or anybody else
other
than Kaiser.
Yeah, or probably other than Kaiser or Brad, actually, which doesn't leave many options open. But I'm about to leave on some travel, so I'm not anxious to do the last call write-up.
Okay, well, let me push the buttons to saying, let's go to the working group last call. And we said 4 weeks, right?
And actually, we don't need the Shepherd write-up until last call is over.
We don't need that. That's right. Exactly. I don't think we not pulled group, blah, blah, blah. None of those things matter. And we are now in working group last call. Good. Okay. Well, that may be all for today then. Shortest virtual interim ever. Brad, Peter, any comments? Mr. Unduk?
Yeah, hi guys. I'm just here to learn. If this is always this easy, then it's great.
Cool.
It's not always
this
this
easy.
It's not always this easy.
No,
This
we've
is
worked
a
hard
very
to make it
small
this
working group.
easy.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Sometimes we just need a deadline to get everything done by, and I think that was the point of today's meeting, was to make sure that we're all on the same page. We check in and we're good. Okay, so that puts our last call date. I'm going to put it in my calendar. That puts our last call goes up to 1, 2, 3, June 7th. We'll make it June 9th. That's a Friday, maybe the Thursday. Anyway, I'm just putting an entry in my calendar to remind me to follow up with the last call. Working group last call.
Now that the only thing I would comment is, I think at some point one of our interns, we discussed making sure that the ITU and the ISO folks had a chance to weigh in on the last call, since they have upstream documents that depend or tie back to us. So I think at this moment it'd be good to at least get this in front of those liaisons. Blast it out there everywhere. Just say, hey, last call, speak now or forever hold your peace type situation to the internet.
ITUT and what was it? Was IEEE? No.
ISO.
ISO. About.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do that. I think I know who our ITU2, we got Scott liaison is, and I'll figure out who if there's a different ISO liaison. But of course, if you know people, tell them as well. I let the LibUUID people, which turns out to be Stephen Cho, is one of them in the more or less the Linux world. That happened in whatever February, and I think they had some comments already. And I'll just let them know that we're in working group last call, and if they have any other comments, that would be great.
Yeah, I had commented to the prototypers who had really helped us out 6, 7, and 8. I kind of added and CC'd everybody out there, and I've asked them to really look at draft 03 and give some feedback. So I didn't get anything from that on draft 03. So I'll just re-comment on that thread saying, hey, it's officially last call.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing else, we can close the meeting. We're not having another meeting unless we need to somehow we may need to have some conversation based on some discuss, but hopefully we'll know with this if we get into a problem with comments from the IESG, then we'll know at that point if we need some other effort. But at this point, I don't see any reason to have that. Wonderful. Thank you, Kaiser. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Brad.
That's great.
Yeah, I wanted to say thanks to everybody. This has been a whole adventure here. So this is great. Awesome. It's finally happening.
Good.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm sorry we haven't had a little bit more activity just in terms of getting kind of a wider range of comments and that sort of thing. But this is a pretty small working group. So
I'd say, Jim, I'm glad that we didn't, because we had all that hashed out before we even came to the IETF. So Brad and I were able to work through all of that. I'm actually really glad that it was quiet. So I'm just glad we're here. near the end. I see the end in sight.
Cool. All right. Good. Thank you, everyone.
All right.
Cheers and
Thanks,
have a
everybody.
beer.
Cheers.
Thanks.
Bye.
Take care.